Okay, so this is part two of the random policies hospitals like to make up regarding adult sickle cell care. So, yes, my doctor comes. He basically wipes the floor with Maria and her little wannabe contract. Uh, Tells people that I am not to be held to that contract. And basically, we sit down and we have a meeting. And like I said in the first video, this whole thing happened because there were a few sickle cell patients, like maybe four, maybe, who were, you know, not acting properly. I don't really know how else to say it. But bottom line, they were being accused of um, hospital hopping. And basically, when one person would get hospitalized, everybody would go to visit them. And basically, it ended up being, well, what they were accused of was basically like trying to take meds and collecting meds at every hospital. Each one was admitted to. Bottom line, honestly, I never really got the whole story, but that's sort of the gist of it. So, because of these four people and their very crappy, trifling, unthought out plan, I guess, to get over on the system, now all of the adult sickle cell patients who go to Cedars, I believe UCLA tried to do this as well as SC at some point, not at the same time. But basically, all of us are being subjected to this buffoonery. No one's being questioned. No one's being given, a reasonable explanation as to why all of a sudden their care plans mean nothing. All of a sudden, why protocols, hospital protocols, have been thrown out the window, but only when it comes to them. Craziness. So, for about 4 months, every time I went back, I had to deal with this contract. And once it got through to the nurses that that was not going to fly, they started coming up with more interesting ways to mess with me and my care protocol. And one of them, two of them, which yeah. So the first one was they would just show up to my room with my medication and they'd already have my pain meds bagged and ready to be piggybacked. And then they would tell me, well, I'm sorry, it's the last one we had, and pharmacy's on lunch. So you can either take this, I mean, you're saying you're in pain, right? Or we can waste it and, wait for pharmacy to come back, although I kind of don't know when that is, and have them like do a refill. So basically forcing me to have to have my medication piggybacked over a 30-minute period while I'm just in well over 10 pain, because not only am I physically in pain, but mentally and emotionally, I'm just in inconsolable and anguish, because I can understand how people who have literally not only watched me grow up, but in many ways helped to raise me and helped to mold who I am, taught me the things that they did about my health. These were the same people that were now turning around, pulling this crap. Uh, Another thing that they like to do is they would wait for my doctor to visit me. My doctor was known for doing his night rounding between like 7 and 9:30. He would usually be off the unit by 9:30 and on his way home. And basically, any last minute changes that needed to be made, any conversations we need to have about the day, that's when those things would happen. So, you know, my doctor would do his usual rounding, go home. I would actually go to sleep because this was back when I still slept for more than 2 to 3 hours while in hospital. Back when I still felt safe to sleep. Well, I would wake up, I'd call for my medication, and all of a sudden, a nurse I'd never seen before would come in with a little cup of pills. Now, I've had the same pain regimen for well over 20 years. 10 milligrams IV push morphine, 50 Benadryl. The Ativan got added after all this craziness. Um, but yeah, that was my protocol. Some Zofran. And all of a sudden, here they come with these little cups, little pink Benadryl capsules. And at the time, I guess MSIR, I never heard of it. The only medication I ever used at home was Vicodin. So I didn't know anything about immediate release oral morphine or extended release as to what any of that was. And so then I would be arguing with this nurse saying, I'm sorry, but I believe you have the wrong patient. And they would say, oh no, this is yours, Marissa Kors, right? Yeah, this is your new nighttime regimen. And I said, but my doctor didn't change it. Oh yeah, he must have called after he left and changed it. I don't know, but do you want it or not? And see, that's when they had to learn that many, many years ago, most sickle cell patients had already learned mind over matter. Mm-hmm. Is the greatest weapon that we have. Because if you really think that I picked up that little cup of pills and swallowed them and let these people believe they were getting over on me, yeah, you don't know me very well. So, yeah, hell no. I call the charge nurse. The charge nurse acts like she doesn't know what happened. I call my mother. My mother calls my doctor. My doctor makes a call to the nurses. Boom, all of a sudden, oh, I'm so sorry. It was a mistake. We picked up the wrong chart. That wasn't you. You know, there are other Marissas with sickle cell. Okay. And that went on for about another 2 months. And you know what? I tell the people the story, and people always think that it's about the medication. Oh, you didn't get the medication what you wanted the way you wanted it. No, it was about trust. And it was about the fact that in that moment I learned that I had to have my head on a swivel at all time around these people. And I no longer felt safe. I no longer felt that I could sleep peacefully and wake up and not be judged, or worse, have everything, like all of my medications, flipped on me when I couldn't do anything about it. And that's when I stopped sleeping in the hospital.